So today I'm with Richard. Richard, how old are you?
I'm 49 years old.
Richard, you're out here. I'm out here in this neighborhood. It's a neighborhood that I don't want to say I exactly grew up. I grew up all over the valley, but I used to live in this area. I went to a middle school here. I'm 49 as well, right? So we might have crossed paths at some point, right?
Correct.
I asked you about a teacher, right? Who was your teacher at Edison, right? I remember my teacher. My favorite teacher was Miss Potasic.
Well, I had this math teacher. I used to have a crush on her. At the time I was small. Young. But when you were small, young, sometimes you have a crush on some teachers. Well, her name was Miss McAllister, and I remember that.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
Hopefully these teachers are doing great, right? We still, even years later, we still remember their names, right?
Correct.
Obviously, they've made an impact on us. So, Richard, so I told you the purpose of my interview with you. I told you that I approach people and I ask them, what's their story. A lot of people out here doing blues. That's the predominant substance that's being used because it's so cheap and readily available for everybody. Why are you out here?
Well, I'm out here because of course, like I said, I was born and raised out here. I have people out here too. I visit and talk to. But at the same, I'm not a perfect person of myself, but for the most part, I have came a long ways. Of knowing about this stuff and these it's like these blues, the pills that they got coming out here. It's just killing a lot of people now these days quick. I just had a cousin of mine's. Rest in peace. About a month ago, he was 24 years old and he passed away on blues. So it was a tragedy, to the family. But at the same time, it's just that it's killing everybody now these days. And and it's not good. It's not cool. For our kids, our young ones to be going through all this. They should be out there getting their education, going to school. Doing something with their lives, and that's what I like to see the kids do in their neighborhood, and even my own siblings and my family too.
Absolutely. My condolences for the loss of your cousin. Okay, that's way too young to pass away from substances. So speaking of kids, the youngest person I've seen out here was 13 years old. That's too young, Richard. Don't you think? These little kids haven't lived. They haven't had crushes on teachers like us, right, yet. So they really haven't experienced life. But here they are with these substances because they're so cheap, right? $1 for these pills, 50 cents, $1, $2 for one of these pills. You got a 15-year-old that's trying to be cool, trying to hang out with the cool kids, and here, try this, right? They try it and they don't wake up. So it's just a tragedy that you're not just seeing it here on your side of town, but all over the valley, all over the country, unfortunately. What needs to happen, Richard, to stop this?
Well, correct, and I'm glad that you brought that up because it is true. It is out there, and it is killing a lot of our kids now these days, even the young ones. And that's the sad part about that. Because now these days you don't know what are they putting in these substances. And our kids don't need to be going through that. I just understand. I believe that our kids they should have a chance in life, and to become somebody and to do something in life. Not to be like how I was. I'm only speaking for myself, but how I was in the past. Hanging around in this neighborhood when there was gangs and and drugs and stuff like that. So with that being said, it's like I have to work a job, 2 jobs, just to make ends meet, and I don't want my kid or see any other kid go through that, to become somebody and do something where they don't have to worry and struggle with the bills or have to struggle with life in the future. I believe that they deserve a good life in the future, and not to have to worry and struggle with as far as financials.
Absolutely. You're looking real sharp today, Richard. Are you coming from a job interview? Are you coming from work?
Actually, I just got off of work a couple hours ago, but like I said, yeah.
That's awesome, man. How did you overcome the trials and tribulations of your youth as far as gangs and the neighborhood and any that trouble that you get into as a kid, trying to be cool and hang out with the wrong crowd? How were you able to survive?
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up too, because that's I came a long ways with that. You know what I mean? I came a long ways with that. You know what I mean? Even a couple years back. You know what I mean? I was still being you know what I mean, a hard-headed troublemaker. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, my family, they tried to tell me things, but I was the type of person that, you know what I mean, I just didn't take their advice for anything. I did what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I mean, I have done. You know what I mean? I've gotten in trouble in the past. I had paid my time to society in the crime scene. You know what I'm saying? I had paid my time in that. But that being said, is, when you are up in there or whatever, you get to miss a lot of things. Your family, your kids, other things. You know what I mean? And so with that being said, I had to think twice about all this. You know what I mean? And I'm not a little kid anymore. We're all getting older in life. We have to worry about, like I said, our kids, the young ones. You know what I'm saying? They deserve, like I said. Now I'm really glad, and I really do thank the community for changing the community around, because you know what I mean, before I was, you know what I mean, I didn't really like how they were changing the around, because I thought they were taking away my community around. But as time went on, I started thinking, and something had hit me. I have my higher power that I talk to every now and then. But with that being said, is it's like our kids, they're going to be growing up in this community. So now they're making the community look a lot more better, safer for you know what I mean, for the kids, where there's no gangs, or well, we still got to work on the drug issues here. But as far as gangs and everything else, you know what I mean, our kids, they deserve to be in a good community and to change it around, because with that being said, is that, because if they're around all that, of course they're gonna turn to how I was, you know what I mean, to be surrounded through all that. But if you are in a good community and they change things around and clean the neighborhood up a little bit with nicer things and nicer things, of course our kids, they're gonna be surrounded with all that. So with that all being said, is they're gonna be with all that. So then that gives them the more ability and the positive attitude, not to get into a gang or not to hang around with all these, you know what I mean, people or drugs, whatever it might be. You know what I'm saying? They get a chance, you know what I mean, to pay attention and be more up here for into school. You know what I mean? And get a college degree. I do have a daughter. She is in college right now, and I'm glad and I'm proud of her. That's because of her mom's side of the family, and I do thank her mom and them because of that. You know what I mean? So
So congratulations on your daughter going to college, man. That's awesome. Good for her. You should be proud of that, right?
Correct. No. Yes.
And she should be proud of the fact that you've matured. You're doing it. You sound a lot better than what you probably sounded like 5 years ago. 10 years
definitely.
Ago, right?
Yeah. You're definitely right on that. I still got a little bit of work on. You know what I mean? I'm not there to the fullest yet, but but I have came a long ways though, and I have, you know what I mean, matured a lot, and you know what I mean, and get to notice a lot of things that are happening, and what I'm liking about how they're rearranging and changing the community and the neighborhood around for our kids, because they deserve that.
I know what you mean. When I go through neighborhoods where I grew up, I used to walk the streets, go to school, and I see a building get demolished, right, where I used to be a store that I used to go to, or these houses get refurbished into, like, man, that's not a house. They get bulldozed and like something else comes up, right?
Yeah.
People from out of the state move in to the neighborhoods where I used to grow up in, and what's going on? We're like, where's my identity, right? Like,
correct.
It's all gone, you know?
Yeah.
And
right.
so some of the people that I went to school with, they're detained. They're no longer here, death, or they're just gone, right?
Yeah,
Gangs,
you're right about
substances, just wrong decisions, right?
Right.
We're always working on ourselves. We're never at the point that we're gonna be happy with ourselves, right?
Yes.
I'm 49, just like you, and I'm working on myself still, right? And that's gonna be a lifelong thing for everybody, dude.
Yeah.
Don't feel like there's a finish. You know,
Yeah,
it's
right.
like it's continuous, it's ongoing forever. Okay. My last question to you is, what would you do over when you were a kid? Let's say 15, 18 years old. What would you do over?
What would I do over? Well, first, I mean, I would do over was, I mean, I would definitely listen to my parents, you know what I mean? And, of course, you know what I mean? And go to school and stuff, you know what I mean? And do something with my life, you know what I mean? I always wanted to become at the time, become a boxer, you know what I mean? I would always, you know what I mean, like to have my own little punch bag, everything. I would like, you know what I mean, that was my thing, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean, with that, you know what I mean, yeah, I would definitely do quite a few things over. It was like, you know, listen to my parents more, you know what I'm saying? Go to school, you know what I mean? You know, don't be that hard-headed type of person, you know what I mean? Just take my parents' advice at the time, you know? So.
Richard, I told you the purpose of this channel is prevention through awareness by 13, 14-year-old Richard that's at home, lost, confused, thinking about joining a gang, peer pressure at school. By him listening to your story, he's gonna be like, damn, I'm gonna start listening to my mom now. I'm gonna start making better decisions now. I don't want to lose everything. I don't want to, you know, realize and mature when I'm in my 40s. I want to do it now, right?
Yeah, well, see, with that being said, well, my mom, she passed, she's deceased. She passed away in '99, but I still have my pops here. He has brain cancer right now, but he's here with us, and right now I'm with him. I live with him right now, but he knows that he's there. He's not too much, but yeah, I still got my pops here though. But you know, I'm trying.
You should be very proud of yourself, okay? I've known a lot of people. I've known a lot of people. I've gone to school with a lot of people, and they didn't make it. They're gone at an early age. They're just gone, right? Because of all the things you've seen, the things I've seen out here, things we've been through.
Definitely.
You've survived, and here you are trying to make a positive impact for the second half of your life. And you know what? I don't know you, but I'm proud of you, dude. Okay?
Yeah, thank you. I do
So
appreciate that.
I appreciate you for opening up a little bit. I'm a total stranger. I approached you, and you know what? This is for the kids.
Oh no, definitely. That's why. Hey,
you're on board.
I'm all for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, they're the ones carrying on the next generation. And with that being said, you know, this next generation, you know, they're upgrading with a lot of all these techniques. You know what I mean? Computers, you know, chips. So in order for that, you know what I mean, our kids, they gotta have that. They gotta have that knowledge and that degree. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I encourage. You know what I mean? All the kids, even my nephews and nieces, even my own daughter. You know what I mean? No matter what, I encourage them. You know, go to school, go to college, get that degree. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I mean. No matter what, later in the future, you will see. Not right now, but later in the future, you will see it will all pay off. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you see how, you know, how your deal, or you know what I mean, how we struggle when we have to work 2 jobs or whatever to pay the rent, to put food on the table or whatever. We don't want, you know what I mean? You don't want to go through all that. You know what I mean? So in order for, you know what I mean, get that college degree. You know what I'm saying? I mean, do something with your life. Become a lawyer, dentist, whatever you want to do with your life. But you know what I mean? Go to college and get that degree. And
Richard, that's great advice. Not only am I proud of you, I'm sure your daughter's proud of you, your father's proud of you. But you know what? You got an angel up in heaven, your mom, looking down and saying, "Mijo, I'm proud of you."
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
And have a great one. Stay safe. God bless you, okay?
You too, sir.
Thank you, brother.